Hi everyone, this is Dee, and yes, I'm back again. Sorry guys, I don't know what happened, but for some reason I couldn't access my live. Hi, the SM fam. Thank you so much for stopping by. Certainly appreciate it. Oh my goodness, I don't know why it seemed like my live. I got started and it just, I don't know what happened. I'm not even gonna lie. Oh my God. But I'm glad you guys stopped by. I'm certainly thankful for the support. As I stated on my live, this is Chillation and Chat. So basically, we're just gonna relax. We're gonna chill out, relax, and have a good time. And I'm just telling everybody else to go out and come back in because it looks like I don't know something funny is going on. But we're gonna get this live going. You guys, please forgive me. I'm new to lives. I've only done a handful of them, and I'm still working out all the kinks and stuff. But I'm gonna get there. I promise. All right. So tonight, I am just sitting back, relaxing, unwinding. Thank you for stopping by, Free Trader. Thank you so much for stopping by. When you guys come in, if you could please go ahead and show me some love by pressing that thumb, I would greatly appreciate it. If you'll go ahead and show me some love by pressing that thumb, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. As I stated, tonight is Chillation with D. I'm just going to be sitting back, relaxing. We're going to talk. We're going to discuss some things. Um, I have some books coming up pretty soon that I will be reading online. I will be reading them in two different formats. There will be times when I'll do live readings, when I will actually, allow you guys to be my guest. Come in, lay back. If you're laying back, sit back. If you're sitting back, and I'll read you some nice, sweet, smooth, and sexy stories. I have to put that out there in advance. Now, of course, I will also do some inspirational stories because, everybody has, their lane. So I'll make sure I put in the description what type of stories we'll be enjoying. And that'll give you a chance. Say if you want to listen to something that's a little more inspirational, you can sit back and listen to inspiration. Hi, Scully. Thanks for stopping by. I certainly appreciate it. If you'll go ahead and hit that thumbs up, I would greatly appreciate that as well. Um, as of right now, at this time of the night, I'm getting myself ready because I will be reading books very soon. And I'm not just going to read my books, I'm also going to read books of other authors. I'm waiting for Scully to get in contact with me so I can get my hands on his book because I'd love to read the first couple of chapters to you guys. I think you'll like it. Now, here's the deal. Once you listen to these books, guys, go ahead and show these authors some love because they work really hard. I know. These guys work really hard to try to get their books together. It's a lot of work that goes into it. There's a lot of love that goes into it. And so, my whole thing is to make sure that you get a chance to listen to something nice and sweet, a thriller, something a little bit sexy, maybe even something a little bit inspirational. But once you hear the review of a book, or if you hear like two or three chapters of that book, go ahead and show these guys some love by purchasing the book. Because guess what? We want you to purchase our books. We greatly appreciate that. Also, pretty soon, I will be looking at artists who have their own independent music that they're creating. So I will be premiering some different artists' music. Basically, what I'm doing with my chillation sessions is to show love to independent artists. There are a lot of people out there who are extremely talented and they just a platform. So, my platform will be a place where we can get to listen to some beautiful music, read some wonderful stories. That's what it's going to be all about. Scully, I will definitely do that. I will certainly get in contact with you because I absolutely 100% want to not only read a couple of chapters of your book live. I also want to review it because I want to give people a chance to get the book and just really read it because what I've heard so far is really good. And I want other people to have that opportunity to experience, the style of reading that you have. It's pretty gripping. I love it. So we're gonna make sure we get that story out there. That is the Dutch coffee shop. The Dutch coffee shop. The author's name is Jay Scully. He actually reads the book on his channel as well, and that is Scully's House of Thrillers. But what I thought about is really cool. You get to choose. Do you want a guy reading the story to you? Or do you want the sweet stylings of someone such as myself, named D, reading the story to you? So you have your choice. You can hear a couple of chapters read by moi, or you can go on over and just hear a few chapters by Jay. Either way it goes, you're going to be dazzled, right? And so that's what it's all about. Hi, Edward. Thank you so much for stopping by. Edward Smart, I certainly appreciate you. And thank you so much for stopping by. And if you would go ahead and press that thumb, I would greatly appreciate that as well. Jay, I would actually, Scully, I would be honored to read your book. I'm not even gonna lie. I love to read, but I also like to read good content. I'm one of those type people. I'm just gonna be 100% honest. I don't like to read. Ever since I started writing, it's hard to read, especially if the content is not good. So I love to read good content, but if the content is not good, it makes it different and difficult. So when someone has a piece of work and it's really good, I definitely want to hear it. I want to read it. I want to be a part of it. So I'm all for it. Tonight I wanted to share one of my writings. This is not it's not in a book per se, a book that I've published, but it's a book that I'm putting together. I love to look at things that are going on around us and kind of like, I don't know, break them down, make them make sense for myself. So I wanted to read a poem that I created, and it's called Brown Ish. And the way the poem goes, it's kind of to highlight the fact that black and brown are two completely different colors. They're two completely different colors. They're not the same. So, black, absent of light, without definition, no warmth, cold, void. Brownish, creamy, juicy, light, bright, dark, rusted, antique, rust, pink, earthy, warm, molten, deep, cool. Black is not brown. Brown is not black. Chocolate kisses, cocoa dreams, silky dark chocolate skin, caramel hips, coffee colored eyes, roasted hazelnut lips, butter pecan thighs, burnt paprika with cocoa highlights. Mmm. And again, I say, mmm. My, oh my. Why must we choose to believe in something which has been incorrectly defined? Black is not brown. Brown is not black. Brown is not black. And black is certainly not brown. Brownish. And that's just a little poem. That's just a little poem that I wrote, and it's actually in a collection of poems. It's just reflections. Basically, whenever I see something that kind of doesn't make sense to me. Hi, D90. Thank you for stopping by. I certainly appreciate you. If you'll go ahead and smash that button, the thumb, I would greatly appreciate that as well. It's called Musings in B minor. And that's gonna be found whenever I decide to publish it. If I may publish it. I actually may place each poem in a different book. I haven't figured it out yet. But for right now, it's running in my mind and it's called Musings in B minor. I like to sit back, relax, and just think about stuff. And so this is kind of one of my poems that got me thinking about the difference between black and brown. um, so yeah, that's one of the things I'm working on. I stated, as I stated before, my first book that I'm pretty sure I'm going to read is called The Divided Line. The Dividing Line. The Dividing Line is it's a very gripping book, and it's something that honestly, when I first started working on it, it didn't take me long at all to write it because it's something that I kind of lived and saw in a way, an essence of my life. So it was easy for me to write about it. Hi, young two star DQ. Thank you for stopping by. And guys, by the way, make sure that you reach out and touch one another. If you don't know someone in the live, please go ahead and reach out, touch them, and let's grow, 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 grow. Even though this is not necessarily networking, we can always network because it helps us get our brands out, whichever it is, books, gaming, or hunting, whatever it is that we're doing, let's grow while we're doing it. But the first book I'm pretty sure I'm going to read is called The Dividing Line, and it is a very interesting look on racial tension, and it's got some hidden romantic components in the book. It's pretty deep, but the story is pretty awesome also. I'm looking forward to reading it. I will say in advance that it's not going to be for the weak at heart. Thank you for stopping by, Brown Dog Prospecting. If you'll go ahead and hit that thumbs up, I'd greatly appreciate it. Make sure you guys reach out and touch one another. If you don't know someone, if you've never seen someone before, please reach out and grab that person because guess what? They may be able to boost you up and get you to where you're going. um, as I was saying about the dividing line, it may not be a book for everyone. I'm just going to put that out there right now because it is a little bit graphic. And so, with any book that I read, I will be sure to put out a little bit of a disclaimer so you'll know if it's something that you want to listen to because we have our lives. Some people are more reserved and some people are a little bit spicy. And if you're spicy, you'll love my book. If you're spicy, you'll love all my books. And if you're not spicy and you're the type of person who's actually kind of mild on the outside but spicy on the inside, you'll definitely love my books. So, yeah, I just look forward to sharing with you guys. It's been a labor of love. I actually love to write. I enjoy what I do. I enjoy sharing with others. I've actually got some stuff planned because I want to see my friend Jeff Lackey from Finley Kennels with Jeff Lackey. I want to put him, his brother, I mean, his cousin, and his two sons. I want to create characters based on those guys. They're absolutely hilarious. I have never met funnier guys in my life. Those guys are hilarious. They have a channel that focuses on hunting, coon hunting. They go live while they're on the hunt. You have never seen anything funnier because everything that they encounter out there while they're hunting a raccoon, you encounter it with them. And Jeff is really good about talking you through the hunt, letting you know where they're going, what they're doing, what's going on with the dogs, what's going on with the coon when they see one. He's real good at talking you through it. His cousin Brian is also real good at talking you through the hunt. And the boys are just hilarious because they're big guys who are just fun. They're good fun, and it's really nice to watch them going through the hunt. So if you haven't been to the Finley Kennel with Jeff Lackey, if you haven't been to their channel before, I encourage you to go. You will laugh until you cry. Oh, good, Scully. I'm glad to know that. I love to sit down and read your or listen to your stories. Honestly, I think you said the other day you may have uploaded something, and I didn't go over there because the last time I went over there and I was listening to the story and it cut off, and I was like, oh my God, I know this is not it. I was like, no, 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 no. I wanted so much more. I was so disappointed. I was sitting on the edge of my seat, like, oh my God, somebody's gonna get killed. And then you cut off on me. I was like, oh man, he wrong for that. I was so disappointed because I wanted to see what was gonna happen next. But that's okay. That's all right because believe me, I'll sit there and binge. I'll listen to it. I mean, I think the last scene that I listened to, they were in the coffee shop and the guys came to I don't want to tell what all happens, but when he had to run out of the coffee shop, that just threw me for a loop. I was like, oh man. But yeah, I'll be going over there as soon as possible so I can check that out because that was really good. Okay, I'll be looking forward to it. I'll be looking forward to it because I'm telling you, that's how I am when I watch a television show. I hate to watch. I hate watching series. I really don't like to watch a series because if I'm watching or reading something and it's really good to me, I'll binge it. I'll binge it until I can't. I mean, I won't even pick up a book. I'll look at it, look to see how many pages it has in it, and I pretty much know how long it takes me to read a book. And so if it has too many pages for me to binge it in a certain period of time, I won't even start it because if it gets good to me, I'm not going to want to stop. So that means if I have to go to sleep, get ready for work and stuff like that, I'll be looking crazy because I'll be trying to stay up all night long to finish reading that book. I'll be sitting in the office all day thinking to myself, I wonder what happened next. So yeah, I'm kind of like that. Oh, I know. I hate to wait. I'm so impatient. I know I'm impatient. I can't help myself. The suspense is killing me. Oh my God. I'm one of those type people. I there are some people in this world who become easily addicted to things. I'm one of those type people. I become addicted to like reading stuff, watching movies that are real good and got good storylines, um, things that stimulate my mind. If something stimulates my mind, I become completely and totally addicted to it. So uh, I don't fool around with drugs. I've never been like just one of those people, not against anybody that does. I just don't because I don't want to be sitting around like zooted out my mind because it stimulated me the wrong way. But yeah, I'm just one of those type people. I know when I like something, I don't want to let it go. So, you know, I learned how to use a little bit of control. Oh, you wrote the sequel already. That's cool. Yes. Yes, sir. That is awesome. Don't you dare put that sequel online. Don't you dare do it. Make sure you keep the sequel offline. That way people will be like, "Oh my god, I got to figure out what's going to happen next." Yeah, we'll read the first book, get everybody just so addicted to the whole story. And then when they get to the end, they're like, what next? And then you're like, oh, by the way, if you'll check out the end of the book, you'll see that the sequel is out now. So you can go ahead and pick that up at such and such and such and such.com. Thanks so much for stopping by. um, I I I kind of like audiobooks, Edward. Honestly, um mm, I don't really listen to audiobooks, but I'm not saying I wouldn't. I think when I listen to a story, I want to hear a certain type of emotion in a story. And some people that read stories, mm, like for instance, if I'm reading a really spicy romance novel, I want the person reading that romance novel to be real spicy. I want them to be just fiery hot. I want to hear it. I want to see it. I want to feel it in their voice. That's what I want. And so, not every person that reads books, not everybody's able to bring you that energy. And so, I like audiobooks, don't get me wrong, but I want a certain energy in an audiobook. I think one of the best things about an author reading a couple of chapters of their own book is that they can put the emotion into the book that they felt when they were writing it. Um, if that person felt a sense of fear, anger, anxiety, angst, frustration, whatever it is, they're gonna remember that emotion when they start reading. And so, as they're reading, those emotions are going to pour out. And just think about it, like if somebody was pissed off and they were real angry when they were writing something, if another person is reading your book, they're not necessarily going to pick up on that. They're going to read the words, they're probably going to practice and try to get the emotion. But if the author reads it, the author is going to like let you see that they were so mad that they were ready to like backhand somebody mad. So you're going to feel that anger. Or say, for instance, if it's a really like saucy, sexy part, and the author was feeling kind of, he's feeling kind of light, feeling kind of happy, feeling like, we all have our, it's, I can't explain it. It's like a je ne sais quoi. You don't really know how to say it, but you know how to express your own emotions. And so that's the thing. I want to be able to express my own emotions for some books, not just to kind of draw people in so they can get an idea of what I was thinking and feeling when I was writing. And that's what I like. That's what I love about Jay Scully's book. I'm listening to his voice, and his voice is deep and sultry, and it just fits the story. It fits the story. Deep, sultry with a hint of danger. Like he looks like he's an everyday average dude that probably seen some stuff, probably wouldn't hurt anybody. But then when you're listening to him read, you're thinking to yourself, wait a minute, I think I may have gotten fooled. I think this guy knows something. I think he's seen some things. You can hear it in his voice. And so that's what's cool about listening to someone else reading their work, because when they're reading their work, you're feeling what they feel. Yeah, Jay, I kind of spotted you. I'm like, yeah, yeah, I think you done seen some things, sir. Oh my God. And you know what? I thought about going through some through certain companies that were wanting to work with me, but I'm not even gonna lie. Some of my writing is a little bit, it's grown. It's for grown folks. It's for grown people. Um I've had people like, I have a book called Sasha. Well, I let's just put it like this. I have a book called For Sale. And the book For Sale It is it is about a prostitute, and she learns how to, like, game the system. She's not just your everyday average prostitute. She's bad to the bone. And some of the characters in the book, now don't ask me where I come up with these stories from, because honey, I'm gonna tell you, sometimes I start writing and my hands take over. My brain and my hands just take over, and they just write the story they want to see. And so um some people were reading my book and they were like, "Oh my God, that was deep. That was crazy. That was like, oh my God, I never expected that." And they were asking me about one of the characters named Sasha, because it's just something about him in the story that you want more from Sasha. So I wrote a book called Sasha, and I'm getting ready to write the third book called Alpha, which is his twin brother. When I tell you that that story will take you on a roller coaster ride of emotions and frights and thrills and stuff that will shock you. I write organically. Whatever comes to my mind, whatever fits for the story, I write it down. I go back later on, I read it, edit it, I'll get somebody else to read it to kind of gain perspective. And then I print it because I like real stories. I don't want fake stories that everybody else has written. There's so many people who have written the same stories over and over and over again. There's so many ways that you can say, "Oh, he kissed her ear." There's only so many ways you can say that. Only so many ways that you can say, "Oh, he enjoyed her glistening bosoms." There's only so many ways that you can say that. There are ways that you can say it that you get beyond the everyday average. Some people want to play it safe, and I know everybody can't handle going beyond playing it safe. I don't necessarily always want to color inside the box. I like playing it a little footloose and fancy free at times. So I don't know. I want to write stuff that people can look at and say, "Dang, woo." Right. It's like there was a time when you could write something and you could write it in such a cryptic nature, and people would be like, "Oh my God," they would see the hidden meaning in it. You know what I'm saying? But there are some times when it's best to just say it. Forget about the crypt, forget about writing what could happen, what trying to build up the story to make you think about what could happen. Tell me what actually happened. I want to know what happened. What did you see? What were they doing when you saw it? So you said the Greeks already wrote. Yeah, they did. And I'm gonna tell you, when you mention the Greeks, they were some dirty jokers. They wrote some of everything. If you really follow literature through the ancient histories, um, believe it or not, a lot of filthy, nasty things that were written that we are just now really starting to, it's really just starting to bubble to the surface because society has changed. Those things that used to be very, very like taboo are becoming the norm. And so that's the reason why I'm writing a whole series called Taboos and Temptations. Because what used to not be acceptable, it's becoming acceptable every day. There were things that you used to couldn't say. There were things that you couldn't do. There were acts that you couldn't engage in. This is a different time. You can pretty much do, say, and engage in whatever you want, as long as you're not killing someone. um, I'll never forget the first time I heard about the Marquis de Sade. And I know, if you know who I'm talking about, that's a really deep subject. The first time I heard about this guy, I was flabbergasted because I couldn't believe that someone actually existed with those proclivities. I couldn't believe it. I was just like, what? He did what? When? What? But in all honesty, if you look at the mirror of society the way it is today, the way society is today, he's a everyday average person today. You know what I'm saying? Of course, there were some things that were a little bit on the brink of insanity, but society is insane today. Most people do insane things. Hi, my family garden. Thanks for stopping by. If you'll go ahead and press that thumbs up, I greatly appreciate it. You know, I'm not one to pass judgment on anybody, regardless of religion, preferences. I don't pass judgment on anybody because we all have an inner voice that doesn't necessarily tell you to do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? There are times when we struggle. We were in this constant battle between good and evil. And for the most part, the average person does really well. You don't do bad things. You take care of your family. You treat everybody right for the most part. Yes, it was. Frankenstein to use to first dig up a corpse, dig up multiple corpses, and then sew those corpses together. That was not only, it's still against the law, but that was so far fetched. It was like, what? Werewolves, vampires, all of that stuff was so hooky dooky and scary back then. But now people write about everything, they create movies about everything. The limitations of your mind, there, those limitations don't really exist anymore. They don't really exist. And so now, because those limitations have been relaxed, oh my goodness, yes, yes, because those limitations don't exist, you know, you can write stories that are, you may be pushing the envelope a little as far as society is concerned, because of course you don't want to encourage people to do things that are illegal or harmful, but people are doing things that are illegal and harmful. And art imitates life, right? So if art imitates life and you're a writer, what are you going to write about? You're going to write about the clouds? Oh, the clouds are puffy and beautiful today. 1984. You know what? I haven't read that. Since you have stated it, I'll have to check it out because I like to read anything that's good and has, you know, depth to it. So I'll definitely have to check it out. But my mind, sometimes my mind feels like it's going to explode because there's so much stuff going on around me. And when I'm writing, I want to write about truth in a fictitious way. I want to capture the truth, but I want to do it with fictitious names, situations, situations that could actually happen, in other words, or something that I've actually seen that has happened before. And I'm just going to create a character and kind of react it and embellish it somehow. I honestly believe that most of the books that we've read dealing with drugs, alcohol, sex, whatever, the best books, they came from a point of realness. That person wrote that book. You said Orwell states that everything we hold dear can be taken away in an instant. That's right. I look at it like this: the best way to immortalize events and actions in life is to write it down, even if it's fiction, because fiction, even though fiction is not truth, it actually gives you a glimpse in the truth of what's going on, maybe in someone's mind, their perception of what's going on in the world, the things they see. So it may not be true, but somehow there's truth in it. The truth that you use to create that fictitious story, it had to come from something, right? I honestly, when I was a kid, I used to just stargaze and I used to look at the clouds all the time. I don't know what I was looking for, honestly. I just was fascinated. I was so fascinated by grass. I was fascinated by leaves. Even to this day, I'm fascinated by the color, the change from from summer to fall. When the leaves go through the process of dying and the trees go to sleep, that whole process really fascinates me. But I'm also fascinated by, oh yeah, The Godfather. That's awesome. That's awesome book. That when I'm gonna tell you, when I found out that the mafia, um, when I found out that the mafia ran through Arkansas, um, some things clicked in my mind because I saw some things when I was a kid. I lived a pretty, not rough, well, kind of rough life. I saw some things when I was a kid. And I was talking to my stepdad and my mom, and they were telling me about things that were going on in Arkansas when the Clintons, excuse me, they were telling me about some things that were going on in Arkansas when the Clintons when Bill Clinton was the governor in Arkansas. At one point, the mafia actually spent quite a bit of time in Arkansas. They spent a lot of time in Arkansas. Their reason for spending time in Arkansas is because they could land in Mena, Arkansas, and traffic drugs throughout the South. And it was so crazy because when I found this out, I was just like, come on, that doesn't even make sense. Then this expose came out a few years ago, and it was talking about all these people who disappeared in connection with that whole situation. And I'm just like, oh my God, you guys are blowing my mind. So you're telling me, because I grew up in Arkansas, in the country, not too far from Mena. And so I'm like, you're telling me that the mafia was trafficking drugs through the state of Arkansas into the South. And so when I heard that story, oh my God, it blew my mind. And when I tell you, Scully, I used to read a lot, and then I went through a phase when I was working in not upper management, kind of like um I was kind of like middle management. I was going through a phase in middle management when I worked like 60 hours a week, and then I also had a second job and I went to school full time. And when that happened, my love for reading disappeared because I was looking at a computer screen all day long, literally. And all I was doing was looking at numbers and figures and making sure documents were composed. I had to read so much and I had to check paperwork so much to make sure everything was the way it was supposed to be. I got sick and tired of looking at papers. I didn't want to look at another paper. I didn't want to read a book. I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to rest my eyes. It took me a couple of years to finally get back to reading. And I've always loved to read. One of the people I absolutely adore is Stephen King. I've adored Stephen King since I was 9 years old because I feel like he's a genius. I just do. I remember when I was 9, I was reading his books. I read It when I was 9, and that book was like, it was like three books put together. And I read it and I scared myself to death, but I loved that book. And from that moment on, I just kept reading. I read anything that I could get my hands on because I love to read. And so when I was a little kid and up in my teenage years, I would be talking to people and they'd be like, what are you talking about? My vocabulary was very strong, but if you read a lot, you'll have great vocabulary, you have a better understanding of sentence structure. It really feeds your brain. And so once I got out and started working and just I'm a workaholic to my heart. So once I got out and started working a lot and just working and reading paperwork and proofreading documents and stuff, my love for books kind of drifted off. Oh my God, the original book, It. I watched the new movie, It, because they had one that came out in like the 90s or the early 2000s, something like that. I read the book, It, the whole book. I read The Stand. I read Pet Cemetery. I read several of Stephen King's big books, before they were ever movies. And when they take a book like that and try to make it into a movie, there's a lot that gets lost. Okay. Yeah, Stephen King, he's a quirky guy, but I was listening to one of his podcasts, and just as quirky as he is in his books, I really dig him. There's something otherworldly about Stephen King. It's like he's not a human being. I swear it, I might be wrong. That's just what I believe. But the dude is like, I don't know, it's like he's a master when it comes to writing. And he I was listening to him on this podcast, and he was like, if you want to write, he said, just go ahead and write. He says, don't make excuses. He said, don't make excuses, just write. And I was like, okay. And so I get what he was saying, because sometimes people procrastinate and they just keep putting stuff off, putting it off, putting it off, putting it off. But he was like, no, that's not how you're able to build yourself as a writer. You have to just write whatever it is that's in your mind. Scully, I really would love to get with you about my book, The Divided Line Vengeance and The Divided Line Absolution, because I would love to transform that story into a screenplay. I've tried to do the screenplay, but it's a different it's a different, you know, skill set, and I don't really understand it, but it's something that I want to do. This book is something that you could literally watch. You know, just the first chapter is like this chick is in down you know a cold winter, and the vision. I was looking at, because I was actually speaking to someone about turning the story into a movie, and they were asking you to put it into like a 500-word description of the story. I still have it, and basically I could envision this, like, not candy apple, but brick red SUV, or a black SUV, like a Chevy Tahoe or something like that, driving down a country road. The contrast would be like there's snow on the ground, because it's like late November, so we're up in the Arkansas hills, up in the mountains, kind of, so to speak, and there's snow everywhere. There's snow coming down. This vehicle is driving down the road, and there's a woman in the vehicle, and she's just kind of relaxing, enjoying some music, just chilling. And then all of a sudden she sees something in the middle of the road up in the distance, and it's like right in the road. So she's got a choice. She can either go around it, but it looks like a person. So she looks around, she looks to see out in the open field if anybody's out there, because she's like, there shouldn't be anybody out here. She looks around, and she realized this is an actual man laying in the middle of the road, and snow is coming down. The snow is covering him, and he's wearing all black. So she gets out, she's got like a taser in her hand, and she gets out and she's like in a defensive stance and she's looking around, trying to make sure that nobody's trying to like catch her off guard. And she walks up to this guy and she's like, "Hey, dude, are you all right?" She pushes him. "Dude, are you all right?" And the guy doesn't move. So she pushes him one more time and then she hears like him mumble a little bit. So she looks and she noticed like a little thin trail of blood going from him to the other side of the road. So then she becomes alarmed because she's like, "Oh shit," basically. She realizes there's something going on. And so she's like, in a split second, she's like, "Should I help this dude or should I leave? Because this is not what I've signed up for?" And so she makes the decision. She knows if she leaves him out there in the snow, he is definitely going to die. She knows that if she leaves him out there, whoever or whatever situation brought him out there, he's definitely going to die. So in a split second, she runs to the back of her SUV, grabs a I can't, my brain just stopped. She grabs a sleeping bag. She rolls him over. He grunts, and she realizes there's blood under him. It's like the snow that was under him is melted, and there's nothing but blood there. And so she hurries up and gets him in the sleeping bag. She pulls him to the other side of the vehicle. She's still looking around, still got her taser where she can grab it and zap the crap out of somebody if they try to come up on her. She gets the passenger side door open, like, you know how it is when you're frightened. So she uses like unnatural strength to get him in the vehicle. Once she gets him pulled up in the vehicle using the sleeping bag, she gets the door closed, jumps over in the driver's side and drives off. And that's the beginning of the story. The story is bigger than that, but that's the beginning. That was just a little bitty like snapshot that I did so that they could see this story. And the craziest part is that as she's driving, because she lives out in the middle of nowhere in the woods in Arkansas, she chose that home for a reason. She didn't want to have anything to do with anybody. She didn't want to interact with anybody. It just so happened that that was the place where she chose. And for that guy to be out there at that time, it was just all wrong. But her senses were like, I can't leave him out there. It's kind of like that. But the story takes a very interesting turn. It takes such a hugely interesting turn because when she finally gets him home, she's like, before she gets to her home, she's like, I hope this dude is not a killer, I hope he's not a psycho. But when she gets him home, what she finds is like her worst nightmare. And then the last sentence of this description is, what would you do if it were you? So, and I haven't even gotten into the story at all. That was just like a little like that was just a little piece of candy just to get your mouth wet so you can think about it. So you can be like, wait a minute, this sounds like it might be pretty good. That's my story, the dividing line. And I've already written, it's a trilogy. I've already written the second one. No, no Ebola, no Ebola. It's about social tension. It's a book that focuses on social tension and how basically you have people out there walking around who hate another person because they look a certain way, they love a certain way. Some people hate people who are homosexuals. Some people hate people because they're black. Some people hate people because they're white. And so This book really looks at the whole black and white issue because depending on the situation that you're in, I don't care if you can hate somebody to death to the point that you would kill them given the chance. But depending on the situation you're in, that your whole concept of hate, love, trust, distrust, it can be changed. It can be changed in the blink of an eye if your situation changes. You know what I'm saying? If you're in the position to where you can hate freely and nobody checks you, life doesn't check you, and you never learn any difference, you can just be a hateful person. But if you're in a situation where the very thing that you hate the most is the thing that you learn that is not really to be hated, it changes your concept of life. Yes, I have. It I don't know, it's just that topic. I grew up in Arkansas. I spent most of my time in Texas when after I became an adult. I've lived in the South my entire life. I grew up in an interracial family. So I understand the social no's, the social yeses and the social no's. I understand them. But I also understand how people can become ignorant based on ignorant things. If you live in a community where ignorant things are taught and that's the only thing you know, that's really all you know. But say, for instance, you leave that world and you go somewhere else and you're around everybody and everything. Then you have to learn, was I taught what I was taught? Is that true? Is it real? Is this the truth? Because often, what I found when I moved away from Arkansas and East Texas, when I moved to the city, one of the things that I found out is that people who are taught to hate other people, when they come in contact with a multitude of different people and they work with them, they rub shoulders and arms and elbows with them, and they begin to realize, wow, these people are nothing like I thought they would be. It changes their whole life. It changes their perception of life. Because at first they only had this very limited view of what the world was. And what people don't understand is that view doesn't just exist in the white, it exists in the black community as well. If you grow up in a predominantly black community, whatever you're being taught there, that's all you know. If you're raised in a predominantly white community, whatever you're taught there, that's all you know. So when you leave your communities and you go out into the world, say you go to the military. I've met so many people who went into the military who literally came from areas of the United States where you just didn't rub shoulders. Black people and white folks didn't rub shoulders with each other. You go in the military, you're gonna rub shoulders with everybody because you got to put your life in this other person's hand. And I've met people who literally they changed their whole life's view because they went in the military, they met some fabulous people, really good, solid people, and it just put things in a different spin for them. Or they traveled the world and they got to see the world, the bigger lesson of the world that we live in, and it just changed things for them. So that's what my taboos and temptations. um Hello, one queen, seven kings. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you'll go ahead and press that thumb, I greatly appreciate it. If you see anyone in the chat that you haven't spoken with or connected with, go ahead and connect with them if you would. Thank you so much for stopping by. I certainly appreciate you. We're talking about books, writing, and just social issues, just social, not necessarily social issues, but people learning to live in this world together. Basically, that's what we're discussing right now. But yeah, like I was saying, often when people learn to do better, they do better. Often. Sometimes they don't. I mean, let's just face it. Some people are just die hard and whatever they believe, and they don't change for anybody. But even I have learned that regardless of what other people say or do, I'm going to live for me. I'm going to live my life based on what's good for me, because what's good for me may not be good for someone else. And I don't pass judgment on other people, because what's good for somebody else may not be good for me. I like people based on their good qualities, and that's good enough. One of my favorite sayings is, I don't have to wake up next to you. I don't have to look at you first thing in the morning. I don't have to worry about your stinky breath in my face first thing in the morning. So what you do at your home in your life is your business. I'm not mad at you. I don't get upset with people. I let people be themselves, because what I found is, if we allow people to be their genuine organic self, either you like them or you don't. And if you don't, just mosey on. You don't have to fool with them. But if you do like them, you picked up a new friend in your life, you might learn something from them. And I just think that's cool in general. I've always been a very fluid person, a very understanding person. And I try to put that in my books. I try to put that in my poetry. Hopefully, one day I'd love to see my books turn into a movie. That would fascinate the heck out of me. That would fascinate the heck out of me. I would love to see that happen. And that's something that I'm striving for every day. I'd love to see one of my trilogies turn into a movie. I think I believe it's gonna happen. I'm gonna trust that it's gonna happen. Jay, have your scripts been submitted to Hollywood, or are you just, thinking about it? I know I talked to someone, I was in a conference with someone about, oh, you wrote them for someone else? Okay. Well, I need to talk to you because I don't know anything about screenwriting, and it's something I'm really interested in. It's really something I'm interested in, because I know that I talked to someone that has pretty good like presence from what I've seen. You taught yourself. That's cool. I try, but I'm I don't even know how to describe it. I tried to. I think that's the closest I got was the little synopsis that I just presented you guys. That's the closest I've gotten. I've taken time to like focus on. Oh yeah, that's cool. How much time did you spend with Spike Lee? That is like freaking cool. When I tell you, I remember his Higher Learning. Um, um, I can see the freaking movies, but a Higher Learning sticks out in my mind. The first time I saw Michael Rappaport and he was in Higher Learning, that movie just struck me. It really did, because it basically discussed what I was talking about how people are raised. But he was bullied though. That was messed up, because his character, it was strange. If somebody had just taken some time to kind of show him the ropes and been kind of cool with him, instead of him getting caught up with those skinheads, he would have been all right. But I loved that movie. Higher Learning, man, that was a good movie. Another movie that I've seen that really just spoke to me is American History X. That movie, oh my word. Even to this day, I can still remember like every scene in that movie. Every scene. When they showed the part where that black kid put his teeth on the street curb. Hi Jeff. I was wondering when you were coming in. Hi, hun. I was missing you. You missed my synopsis of my book. It was good and juicy. You missed the whole thing. Okay, okay. Oh God, what time do you get off? Okay, Scully, I'll get in contact with you for sure, though. Thank you so much for supporting me. I sincerely appreciate you. Bye. Have a good night or a good morning. Oh no, that sucks. Okay, I will definitely reach out to you because I'm just so excited. I really am. I'm looking at next getting started next week. That's the reason why I'm coming on live and I'm reading a lot because I want to get the little kinks out. Get everything figured out and worked out, but I will definitely get in contact with you probably sometime today. Okay, Jeff, I sincerely appreciate it, hon. I'll be here. I'll be here for a little bit anyway. But yeah, just to those who are still in the line. Okay, hon. Good night. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate you. Brown dog, are you still here? Well, let's see. Okay, it looks like everybody's dropping off. I'm gonna hang out for a little bit just in case anybody decides to come back by. Um, just for the purpose of the replay, even if I don't get a chance to talk to too many more people tonight, for the purpose of the replay, I am looking at the second week of April, and I believe I'm going to start on a Saturday. That's my goal. My goal is for the second week of April, the second Saturday in April. Well, I'll just say the second week because there's no telling when the second Saturday falls. But I'm looking at the second week in April. Ooh, excuse me, guys. Yeah, the second Saturday in April. So I'm looking at April the 13th. I'm looking at that as my start date for my reading sessions. And what's going to happen? My first reading session will probably be uploaded. No, it'll probably be alive because I think that's a good way to kick off the whole, you know, chillation with D um, reading sessions. I think that'll be an awesome way to kick it off by having some live readings. Um, I think that day I'm probably going to go on probably a couple of times that day, maybe two or three times that day. And what I'll do is I'll spend the first session I'll read one book, the second session I'll probably touch on another book, and then the third session I'll probably circle right back around to the first book. Basically, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna spend some time like giving people their props. I want to let people know that I've read their book. Number one. Number two, I want to spend a little bit of time talking about the goodness of the book because I don't care what anyone says. Nowadays, before we buy something, we want to know that it's something we want to spend our money on. And whenever I've done book reviews and I've held a couple of book contests, I've always given people the same information. You have, as I say, two, maybe three chapters, probably two chapters to grab your audience and pull them in. People are so busy. Nobody has time to read. Nobody does. I mean, there are a few people out there who read all the time. Usually, those are people who are in the industry and they have time to read. But the average person is so busy working two jobs or working a job that requires so many hours out of them, they don't have time to read. And guess what? When you start reading, you pick up the book, you start reading, you fall right to sleep. So here's the deal. I want to come online. I want to read a couple of chapters of some books, depending on what the author wants. If the author wants a couple of chapters read, I'll read the first 2 to 3 chapters and then give a little review and encourage you guys to seek these authors out, show them love and support by buying their books and their merchandise, because these are independent authors who are out there trying to create something fresh and new, something that's outside of the norm. One of the things I refuse to do, I don't watch television, because most television is, it's a constant session of reruns. You don't see any new content out there hardly anymore. Everything is a remake. I like to try to do things that are organically true and different from what somebody else is doing. So when you pick up a book, and or when I pick up a book and I read a couple of chapters from somebody's book, I want you to feel it. I want you to just be like, "Oh, that I felt that. Ooh, that book was good. I got to go get that." That's what I want. I want you to feel moved by it. That's the thing. I want you to feel moved. I want you to feel moved to get the book. I want you to feel moved to read the book. I want you to feel moved to be a part of the book. Get yourself off into those words and just read it and be like, that was just that just moved my soul. So that's what I'm aiming for. I wanna move you. I wanna move your mind. I want to make you smile. I want to make you cringe a little bit. I want to make you be like, ooh, Lord Jesus. I want it to be good or bad to you, but I want you to be moved. I want you to be like, I want you to feel something. And so that's what I want to give in my book reading sessions. Even my product reviews, even my book review sessions, the whole purpose of the review is to give you something. I feel something. I want you to feel excited, or I want you to feel like stimulated. I want you to feel something. So that is definitely going to start April the 13th, which is a Saturday. And I want to say for sure I'm going to have 2 sessions where I showcase 2 different authors, or I'm going to have 3. And what I'll probably do, because I have some authors who sent me who have sent me their actual book, where I can sit down, I can kick my legs up, lay back, and just read that thing. That's that book where I can take me a little time to just sit back and just read it and just dig into it and get into it. That book will probably be showcased a couple of times, because I'll be able to get into, dig around and pick around in it. But a book that where, especially if it's online, if it's an online book, I'm gonna give you a review of it. I'm gonna tell you about it. I'm not gonna take away from it. I'm not gonna just like not really just get into the book and tell you like a good review. But it makes a difference to me. It makes a difference when you can feel those pages. It does. It's something about turning that next page. It does something for you. I think that's the reason why books have not, they haven't just done away with books completely paper. I know they're talking about, severely decreasing the amount of books that are being produced, but there is something about actually flipping a page. There's something about it. And so those books that I get into my hands, where I can flip that page and go back and be like, oh, wait a minute, did they what did they just say? Oh, Lord Jesus, what was that? When I could just go back and look again, oh honey. Oh honey, when I can spend some time on it, work with it, woo. So I want this to be a good time. I want Chillation with D to be soft and smooth and just, oh, I just want you to have a good time, basically. I want you to have a good time. I want you to come. I want you to be invigorated. I want you to enjoy yourself. I want you to relax. You're not reading for yourself. I'm going to read to you, and I don't mind doing it. I don't mind doing it. um, I have another, uh, okay. I have another poem called Revive My Soul. And this is basically I was watching the artist known as Her HER perform. And boy, when I tell you she was singing and she was just digging into it. She was digging into the emotion. It just touched me and I was just like, oh, I just felt what she was doing. That she was singing that song. Please, can you focus on me? Baby, can you focus on me? I can't, I mean, I can sing, but my voice is a mess right now. But it's that song, Baby, can you focus on me? I just love it. Can you focus on me? And so she was singing, and I was just feeling it. She had this lady up there playing a harp, and I was just like, "Ooh, yes, yes, yes." And so, what I wanted to say is, rhythm and blues, R&B is such a fiery, deep, sultry movement that happened in this country, and it's something that we just can't afford to let go of. You know what I'm saying? It's something we just can't afford to let go of. We have to preserve those arts that speak to the soul, the heart and the soul of the African American man and woman and child. I Rhythm and blues is distinctly it was distinctly born in the United States. It was distinctly born in the South. And so after I listened to her perform, and it wasn't her, but somebody got up there and did a speech, and I was just so touched in my heart. And after I finished listening to that, this it was like just I felt like writing this revive my soul. And it goes like this. I love all good music, but I just realized that the music industry has nearly abandoned R&B because they realize it is the only form of music they cannot tear apart, break down, portion out, and appropriate. The blues, jazz, gospel, and rhythm and blues are the lifeblood of the African American experience. You cannot take us out of what we gave birth to through the pains of slavery and degradation. Beatings, chains, lynchings, murders, shackles, and rapes gave birth to a form of communication which we could in which we could express who we are and what we felt about our condition. Every other black music was created as an offshoot of this torturous birth. As a result of us crying and wailing in the blues, jazz, gospel, and rhythm and blues songs of the past. We have so many other forms of music which gained life through the struggle of the black man, black woman, and black child. Why are we not why are we not doing more to save our expressions of joy, sadness, love, hate, and sheer terror? Our music is our soul. Are we going to sit back and allow this form of communication to die with the legends who lived in and rattled around in the social consciousness of the world, it brings tears to my eyes, my heart, and my soul to know that I grew up listening to this music, but it is truly dying out. We need a music revelation across the world to reclaim and rejuvenate the Black musical experience. Revive us, please. Revive us, please. And that was that. That was that. That was just something that came from me just being touched, just feeling touched by my situation, by life in general, by the things that I've seen that have come and gone, by the things that have passed in this world. I was genuinely touched. And because I was touched, I wanted to write it down. I wanted to commemorate my feelings by not allowing myself to be touched and then not respond. I was genuinely touched. There are things that we experience in our lives, and we try to live the best way we can within our experiences. I've seen a lot of things, I've experienced a lot of things. I know a little bit of this and I know a little bit of that. But I know that those definitive pieces of art should not be allowed to pass away. They shouldn't be allowed to die. They shouldn't be allowed to leave. This is a world that we're living in, and we have to continue to plug into this world. We continue to live within this world, and we have to continue to be able to express our feelings. Right, Miss Obama. Right, Miss Obama. Girl, yeah. And it was when I felt it deep in my spirit too. I did. I felt that deep in my spirit. I don't even know where it came from. It just came from some other place. It was just like a voice trying to cry out and express the way, I was feeling about what was going on at that moment and that particular time. But yeah, it was I had just a really deep feeling because I realized that all of the great R&B singers in the world. I think that was after I want to say that was probably after Aretha Franklin passed away. I really believe that's what it was. When Franklin passed away, that touched me in a strange way. That touched me in a strange way because it seemed like all of the old schools are leaving us. It was so hard to understand why. It seems like so many people are leaving here, and all of those forms of art. You know, you gotta think about what you're trying to do to me. Hey, think. I mean, when you think about those songs, boy, it's just like, man, oh my God. It's just it's like the world is changing, all those beautiful forms of art, just different things that we take for granted and we don't even realize. It's slowly but surely it's changing. The world is changing. We're losing a lot, and we're losing a lot of really talented people who kind of held us down through their music, their acting, whatever it was that they were doing that really touched us. Ooh, excuse me, these people are leaving left and right. They leaving left and right, and it just I don't know. It touches you in a certain way because it makes you realize, for one thing, how mortal you are. It makes you realize that you can't be here forever. You can't be here forever, and this world is changing. This world is changing. It's not gonna stay the same. Um, Really and truthfully, we don't know what it's going to be like in 20 years. So we we might better do all we can now. Cause woo, this world is changing, honey. It's changing every day. But you know what? when I saw Aretha Franklin leave, and I was just like, it really touched my spirit. Oh, you driving and listening? I'm good. I'm good. I'm glad you're driving and listening. Um, yeah, I was just talking about how when Aretha Franklin died, it just kind of touched me a certain way because I was, I don't know, I don't know why it really just touched me, but at the same time, I do because it seemed like all of those older people who really just dug in them in blues and just held on to that form of art, and they boosted that form of art and they held it for like 50 years. These people are leaving left and right. And it's like rhythm and blues is not the same. R&B is not the same. Everything is changing, and I was just like, man, we do not need to lose rhythm and blues. That is just, people, we need more people that have that gift and that talent to be able to sing, and get out there and just, share with us. I used to sing when I was a girl and young. I call myself smoking a little bit when I was I called myself gonna smoke cigarettes when I worked for Walmart, and for a couple of years, and it just seemed like my voice never was the same. But I can just remember distinct, things that happened in my life based on music that I listened to. Like I would hear, like the Temptations, the Four Tops, Aretha Franklin, Gladys Knight and the Pips, and it's just like you would hear that music and it would take you back to a different time and a different place. Um, I don't know, some reason I heard that song. Papa was a Rolling Stone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. And when he died, I just like, oh my God, I hear little songs like that, and it just, songs touch me, and it'll take me back to when I was a little kid, watching the old people out there sitting on the porch talking, shooting the breeze, listening to, rhythm and blues and stuff. Um, I was just thinking about that song. You better think about what you're trying to do to me. I said, think. Or, I mean, it was like good times, even though things were a little bit tougher back then, those songs really just connected. Oh, yeah, Tina Turner. Tina Turner was off the chain. Shoot, that woman, she could sing her butt off and she could dance her butt off. I left a good job in the city, working for the man every night and day. Never would have thought, never would have lost a minute of sleep. Worried about the way things might have been. Big wheels, they keep on turning. Profit and keep on burning. That doggone Tina Turner, boy, she was one of the hardest working women in show business. She was bad. I mean, she was bad up in her 60s and 70s. That woman was bad to the bone. And it was so crazy because Tina Turner was sexy as AMF. She was sexy as heck at 60. She was still tight at 60. I was like, go girl, shoot. She was so bad looking. I mean, to be a 60-year-old woman, she had kids and she was bad. She was so bad. I never forget when she was in Mad Max Beyond the Thunderdome with Mel Gibson. Shoot, I wanted them to click so bad. It didn't happen. It just didn't happen. I just thought they would have made a perfect pair. She was a powerful woman and he was a powerful guy. I thought that would have been one of those scenes you wanted to see right there. Boy, I never forget. I was a kid when that movie came out. Mad Max Beyond the Thunderdome. Yes, that was good. But it just seemed like something changed when or it's like when R&B has changed so much, it don't even really just, it's not the same. You know what I mean? It's different now. And so sometimes I'll be thinking to myself, man, things are changing so Everything is changing so much. It's crazy. I had some music. I had some music I was gonna key up for my live, and I forgot to turn it on. I'm still trying to figure out, I understand the ins and outs of the internet and everything, but the live and stuff, the pre-programming for live, I haven't figured that out yet. I'm gonna have to go into YouTube and do a search and learn how to do, how y'all were waiting for me to come on. I tried to access that live, it wouldn't let me access. So I have to get it situated to where I can access my live when I need to, when my show starts. But yeah, it's just I noticed a lot of things have changed, and I was talking to um I was talking to Scully, Jay Scully, he's an author, and he said he knows how to write a script. And I would love to get my book, The Divided Line Trilogy. I want to get it turned from book form into a script because I would like to see it as a movie. I mean, just because I want to see it as a movie doesn't mean it's going to happen, but it won't hurt to try because it's a really good story. It's a really good story. I was telling them kind of like a synopsis of the story, and the synopsis of the story is like you see this, like, say for instance, you know how when you're watching a movie and they come into like a shot, and the first scene you see, like, I was thinking either one or two, it would either be like a newer model Chevy Suburban, like, I want to say probably like either a black SUV or a brick red SUV driving down like a country road out in the middle of nowhere, and there's snow on the ground, and the truck is just cruising, because the person is not in any big hurry or anything. It's a lady, she's taking her time, she's going home. And as she proceeds down this country road, you can see out in the distance everything is dead. Everything is covered with snow. There's not really anything out in the field. The field is open. All you see is just like, trees with no leaves. It's so Everything is so dead that you can actually look across the fields and you see nothing. But all of a sudden, she comes around this corner, a curve, and bam, there's something laying in the middle of the road. And as she gets closer, she realizes it's a man laying in the middle of the road. And so she's thinking to herself, what the heck is this person doing, like, out here in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the road? And so she pull up to him and stop. She grab her taser and she hops out of her SUV and she walk over to him. Hi, Trav, one time. Hi. If you're here to connect with anyone, if you see someone that you've never connected with before, please go ahead and connect. I do encourage that. Right now, I'm doing a little synopsis of a book that I'm getting ready to do some book readings with pretty soon. So you're more than welcome to join as I talk about this book. If you would go ahead and press the thumb, I would greatly appreciate that. And thank you so much for stopping by and joining me tonight. Um, she gets out of the SUV. She walks over to him with this taser. And as she's walking over to the person with the taser, she nudges the guy and she's like, hey, dude, are you all right? Hey, are you okay? And so she nudges him again and he doesn't say anything. She's looking around because she's like, wait a minute, why is this guy out here? And so she looks and she sees this little thin trail of blood that's going across. Okay. All right, brown dog. She sees this little thin trail going across the road over to the other side of the road, and it's a little thin trail of blood. So she realizes that there's something wrong with this situation. And for a split second, she's thinking to herself, should I just leave this dude or what? She's looking around. She doesn't see anybody out in the fields or anything. And she's seriously thinking about leaving this dude because she knows something is not right. So she makes the decision to help the guy. She runs to the back of her SUV, grabs a sleeping bag out of the back of the SUV, runs over. She turns the guy over. When she turns him over, he grunts, and then she looks down and there's blood. Where the snow was under him, it's melted and it's all red. And so she's like, basically shocked because she knows something went down. So she's getting the guy, trying to hurry up and get him wrapped up in this sleeping bag. She pulls him over to the other side of the vehicle, gets the passenger door open. After that fight or flight strength, she's able to pull him up into the passenger side. She slams the door shut, crawls over to the driver's side, and then she hightails it out of there. She's thinking to herself, what is going on? I hope this guy is not a killer. I hope he's not, you know, I hope he's not a psychopath. And she's driving because she lives out here, like basically in the middle of nowhere. And as she's driving, she realized she's thinking to herself, she hopes nobody's like trying to follow her or anything. So that was a little synopsis that I put together for this story. And the 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 big kind of like question is, when she gets him home, she realizes that this guy is really dangerous. She sees something that really strikes fear in her heart, basically. And the last question in the synopsis is, what would you do if it were you? And that's my book called The Dividing Line. I was telling, I think Brown Dog Prospecting was here earlier, and Scully's House of Thrillers. They were listening to my synopsis earlier. This is one of the books that I plan to read on my YouTube channel under my Chillation with these sessions. Um, I also have this book, which is The Dividing Line by Ileana Benoche. And then also the other books that I have, the second book is already written. It's called The Dividing Line Vengeance. And then the last book is called The Dividing Line Absolution. And The Dividing Line Absolution hasn't been yet. That book is basically, I'm still kind of in the development phase of it so that I can close out the series. But it's a really, really good story. The story is very generic. It's something that it's almost like watching a movie. And so I really enjoy writing it. I've actually had it on Amazon for a little while. It's gotten a lot of great traction, and I want to share it on YouTube, hopefully, to promote my other books as well as help other independent authors to promote books. So, and if things go well, maybe if, things work out for me, hopefully I'll be able to get that book turned into a movie. That's my hope. That's my goal, my ultimate goal. Um, as I stated before, my books, they're on Amazon, and they are not for the faint at heart. I'm just gonna warn you. I'm gonna warn you straight up. They are very real. Like, I took time to really write very kind of like grimy, grungy like instances in some of my books. I bet you do, Jeff. I bet you love spicy. um, my pen name is Ileana Benoche. Um, Sometimes I think it's good to have an alter ego because the reality is, you know, we live such restricted lives at times. And it's nice to be able to let off a little bit of steam, let your hair down, and just be that true self that you are, that true person that you are. And in my stories, I've lived a pretty like I've seen a lot of crazy things, but I've lived a pretty restricted life. And now because things have changed so drastically, it's like I feel like I can write what I want to write because people nowadays pretty much do what they want to do. So I'll just put it like this: it's definitely for the grown and sexy people. My books are definitely for the grown and sexy people, people who are not afraid to let the hair down, run a nice hot bath, bubble bath, get you a little old glass of Chardonnay, and just sit back and relax and listen to me read or read it for yourself and enjoy it. So that my first series, and I actually have a whole series called Taboos and Temptations. And the whole purpose of the Taboos and Temptations series is because in our society, there are still like social, um, there are still social issues in our society where people don't necessarily want to accept certain relationships. And in my Taboos and Temptations series, I take one book from each of my other like trilogies, or my I have one sequel. I have I have one sequel. I have two trilogies. No, I have two sequels and two trilogies. And I try to take one book from, like each of the ones dealing with like complicated relationships, and put them together in a set called Taboos and Temptations. And basically they're spicy hot. They're just spicy, spicy, spicy. Hi, Joseph TV. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm so glad you decided to visit me this morning. Joseph TV Show, if you would go ahead and click that button, please click that thumb, and just I would love to see that. I'd greatly appreciate that. I'm so glad to see you in my room this morning. um, as I was stating, my books are by Ileana Binoche, and that is my pen name. The series that I was speaking of is called The Dividing Line. Those books are actually already in, uh, they're already at Amazon. The Dividing Line is the first book in the series, and then The Dividing Line Vengeance, it is the second book in my trilogy. Um, if you choose to read my books, be forewarned that they are definitely for grown folks. Um, yes, I am a Christian lady, but as with most people, that little saucy, naughty side of me, just like everybody else, and I poured all of her into my books. Okay. And then my second book, The Dividing Line Vengeance. My third book will be out. We're looking at June, probably the second week in June, and that book will be called The Dividing Line Absolution, and that will end that trailer. But Joseph, he plays the guitar. He's a very nice guitar player. Um, Jeff has a TV show that is pretty awesome. He does wildlife hunting. He's a coon hunter, and he and his sons and his brother, I mean his cousin, they get out there and give you a show like nothing you've ever seen before. It is awesome. And the coolest part of it is that they don't just take you out there along with them. They take you out there and tell you exactly what's going on as it's going on, step by step. So make sure you go check out. Uh, if you haven't already checked one another out, some of the people who dropped by today, we've had the SS Fam. Go ahead and check them out. Free Trader, Scully's House of Thrillers, Edward Smart, D90, YouTube Star DQ, Brown Dog Prospecting, and let's see here. Also, My Family Garden. They're pretty awesome because they actually have like a very natural channel where they do just different type of gardening stuff, like growing food, which is wonderful, and vegetables, fruits, and they show you how to go about doing it. Also, Scully's House of Thrillers. He is an author, and he has, oh my god, he's got a book that he reads online, and it is awesome. It's a thriller. It's a really nice book. It's called Dutch Coffee Shop. It's a wonderful book. I've been listening to it, and he does a great job of reading it. So go ahead and check him out. Also, my buddy, my friend, Finley River Kennels, Jeff Lackey. Make sure you check him out. And then also Trav One Time. Because guess what? These people are really awesome. And Joseph TV, I mentioned you earlier. I love the fact that you play the guitar and you have a wonderful talent. I love listening to you playing that guitar sometimes. It really encourages me. Oh, you talking about your cousin? Well, I don't think y'all look alike per se. I don't think y'all look alike. Um, Honestly, I thought you was a Cajun the first time I saw you. I really did. I thought you were one of them Cajuns, honey. I thought you were one of them raging Cajuns. Cause you look like them. You look like them folks down there in the bottoms. And I'm not saying that in a bad way either, because like I said, my stepsister and stepbrother, they're Cajuns, and their mama and papa. Okay, yep, I see it. I see that. I can see that. Their mama and papa, um, they were like, Cajun is a mixture of black, Indian, and French, and so they have a real distinct look, and you kind of favor those people. I just said, I wonder if he. I couldn't help myself because you look like a Cajun. And so many people I come across, that's good, Joseph. Everybody can't do that. My daughter, my baby daughter, she's 14, and that child, she learned how to play the clarinet in band, and she taught herself how to play the piano, and she taught herself how to play the guitar. She is extremely talented. Sweetheart, you can cook Cajun food if you want to. All you have to do is get the honey. Cause those folks, they be throwing down. They be throwing down. I mean, they love to eat. Anytime you go to a Cajun person's house, they gonna be cooking something. They gonna always be cooking something. They believe in hospitality. They are some very hospitable people. I love those people because I know when I was growing up, my I was raised around my step siblings, folks, and they just treated us all like family. It was all just one big old family, one big old happy family, and we had the best of time, honey. We had the best of time. There was some country folks. We would get out there, they would get to cooking, and they get to talking, shooting the breeze, and talking loud and laughing and acting crazy. Like I said, we had a great time. We really did. Jeff, are you still driving? Oh, you had Walmart. Oh Lord, you in Walmart. You was just at Walmart the other day. What you doing at Walmart now at 2 o'clock in the morning? It ain't nothing at Walmart that you want unless you trying to find something to snack on. I know how it is when you work at a fast food restaurant. After you eat so much of that fast food, you don't want that junk no more. You want something else. Oh boy. Well, I tell y'all, it's almost 2 o'clock in the morning, and I am so thankful. When I say I'm thankful for you guys coming in and just showing me some love, I certainly appreciate y'all because y'all didn't have to come over here. It really touches my heart. Hey, Miss Tracy. Hey, girl. I am so glad to see you. I'm sorry about my live earlier. I was trying to access the live and it wouldn't let me access it, so I had to create another one. I don't know what happened. I am so glad to see you this morning. I love your new thumbnail. It is too cute, Missy. Y'all make sure if you haven't introduced yourselves to Tracy, please do so. She is an awesome lady. Y'all show her some love. Wrap your arms around her, give her a big old hug, and give her a boost. Help her grow her platform, please. I appreciate that. Miss Tracy, if you would go ahead and smash that thumb, I would greatly appreciate it, dear. Oh, that's good. That is so good. That is good. Are things moving? Are you getting more customers now? I was in somebody's live the other day and I brought that up. I'm gonna tell you right now. I was saying, if she gonna be part of a family, everybody should be pitching in and buying something from her, or why, it seemed like people would buy something from her. That's what I said. I try to stay silent and not say anything, but sometimes a little honoriness will come out of me and I try to I try to figure out what's going on. But I'll talk to you about that one day. One day. But yeah, I'm sitting here and I'm so thankful that you guys show because I'm gonna tell you something. I'm trying just like everybody else. Tracy, I really need you, honey, to get with a few people. I need you to get with them because they will help you get your numbers up there. And when I say get them up, I mean get them up. I am over 500 subscribers now. And when I tell you I got away from the negativity, I don't deal with that mess. I don't fool with people. I've been dealing with people who network and are trying to build their platforms. I've talked to women who were selling jewelry and other women who were reviewing products, reviewing books, doing all kinds of stuff, doing makeup reviews, mukbangs, everything, everything. Joseph TV, he plays his guitar. He's a nice guitarist. Finley River Kennels, Jeff Lackey. He runs his coon dogs. Um, Go through this list, honey, and just pick up people. Pick them up, pick them up, pick them up. Because I'm gonna tell you something. If you go into some of these network channels, as long as you go in there and show them some love, pick them up, go ahead, watch. And when you go into their rooms and go to their channel, make sure you watch a video like at least 3 minutes long. At least one or two videos, 3 minutes long, maybe 5 minutes long. Go ahead and thumbs up it. Go ahead and you know go ahead and smash that red button. Go ahead and leave a comment and make sure you watch the whole thing. And I'm telling you, these people, the same people that you help, they will help you. This is a whole different thing. And before you know it, you'll look up and them numbers will be looking so good to you because you will have so many people that'll be following you. That's right. Watch, comment, hit that thumb, hit that red button. And I'm telling you, Jeff can tell you, because he got in with some good people when he first started. He don't know nothing about YouTube. He's learning, he's coming along, he's getting it. He getting it. But he got in with some good, positive, high energy people that ain't about no drama. They ain't trying to start no mess. They're not drama channels. They are networking channels. All they do is you'll see those videos come up. Come grow with me. Come network with me. You're not computer stupid, Jeff. That's not true. You can't accuse yourself of that. You just haven't had a chance to learn. You better stop that. But Tracy, if you get with some of these people that you'll see they like when you see them go live and they say, come grow with me or something like that, get on in there. Because what they're doing is if you get on in there and you watch their videos, it's not no sub for sub. They're not doing none of that. None of that. They're not doing any of that. Basically, what they're doing, they actually help you. They help you. They'll try to do what they can to help you get where you need to go. Because I know it's a lot of people that they'll tell you to come visit them. You go visit them, you watch their videos, and then a few days down the line, they done dropped off. These people are not that. Oh, excuse me. Mm. These people are not that. They will actually help you. And so when I can tell you week, in the past week, I think I put on like 120 people in the past week. I've gained 120 people in the past week. It's a little bit of work to get you to where you're trying to go. But when I tell you that once you hit 1,000, plus on top of it, you've got to get your hours for your videos being watched. And these people will actually watch your videos. They will watch your videos. There you go. Val and Coco. You go see, take a look at Val and Coco. Val and Coco. Also, Sugar Delights. She gonna tell you the whole truth and nothing but the truth, honey. I know those two for sure. They'll get you going in the right direction and get you, where you need to go. Those two. Go take a look at their channels, and that, if I'm not mistaken, that's the exact spelling of their channels. One, now Val and Coco is by herself, and Sugar Delights is by herself. Go take a look at their channels. If you go through their lives, you will see that they're doing their networking, or they're saying let's grow. If they say let's grow, um, they'll help you. Did I put a Y? Oh, I'm sorry. That's not right. See, Jeff, you said you computer. Jeff, you said you computer stupid. Look at me. I'm computer sleepy right now, so I'm not really sleepy, but still. Val and Coco with a V, not a Y. Tell me, is that right, Jeff? Keep me on track now. Keep me on track. See, that's why you have to have some good friends, because they will help you out. They'll keep you on track so you're not messing stuff up. And then Sugar Delights. Thank you, Jeff. You so awesome. See, that's the thing. When you get you some good friends, they'll help you out. They'll keep you motivated. They'll come sit in your live and help you get some time in. These are some awesome people. When I go to Jeff's page, I know he be wondering why this woman come and just sit and sit and sit. Shoot, he showed me so much love. Why wouldn't I show him that same kind of love back? You know what I'm saying? Because for so long I've been noticing that people don't want to help you. They don't want to share nothing with you. They don't want to tell you nothing. They don't want you to grow. But then when you come across some really good people, you want to help them because you know they're going to help you too. There's another guy. He has a gaming channel. I have to remember his the channel is long and it's different. So I have to remember him. He will support you too. He will do that. He will take good care of you. Yes, please. And I'm going to tell you something. All you have to do when they have their lives, you go in. Yes, that's him. You see, Jeff know everybody. He know everybody. That dude is awesome. You need to go check him out because he will be there for you. When he has like 6 hour lives and stuff like that. I put him on and run as much as I can. He don't expect you to run all of that. He know you can't run all of that, but he just appreciates you going in and checking out some of his lives, just giving him some watch time. You know what I'm saying? But make sure the people that have been put up on the screen for you, go check them out. You can reach your goals, you can get your hours, you can go where you're trying to go if you just go and check these people out because they will help you. All you have to do when you go into somebody's page, say hi, let them know. Just let them know hi. You don't even, because usually they'll ask if you knew. Yes, and that's the thing. People want you to stay connected with them. So don't just go and smash that button, watch a few videos. Periodically get in there and watch those videos because the more videos you watch, they see you watching their videos, they gonna watch your videos too. And some of them, like one lady, she said, I'll stream your videos. She had that in her title. So she said, get your videos watched or something like that. I went in there, she picked one of my playlists and streamed the whole thing. And she was doing that for a bunch of people. So you got a lot of people. They'll help you get some people to join your family. They will help you. You can get people who will stream your content, and before you know it, you'll have your numbers. It's a little bit of work at first, and you're gonna have to, you just have to stay in contact with people. But if you get in there and put in that little bit of work, you will get where you're trying to go. It's there for you, honey. It's a lot of people on here doing the same thing, and they are getting their numbers every day. Jeff will get his numbers if he if he spent a little more time just working on it. He will get too, because he know a lot of people. Shoot, he know everybody. Jeff know everybody. Make sure you get him. Make sure you have Finley River Kennels with Jeff Lackey. Make sure you have his brother. I mean his cousin. I don't know why I keep saying brother. Uh is Fossil, is it Fossil Kennels? Let me see. Jeff, put your cousin's information up there. He's another one. He does gardening and he's on his tractor and stuff like that. See there, that's what I'm talking about. Woo, yeah, it's Fossil Creek Kennels. He's another really dedicated guy. If you go show him some love, he will show you some love. That's just how it is. Let me find out Jeff trying to get there. Go on, Jeff. Go on now. I'll give you some fireworks, sir. Since you trying to get some started. You close. I mean, shoot, if you about to hit 400, that means you're about to hit 500. You about to get it. There you go. Some fireworks just for you, Jeff. Tracy out there making that good old money. Go on, gal. Y'all excuse me. My voice is trying to give me a hard time. Nah, I don't want to do that one. I want to do this. Yes. Tracy, this is for you, hon. Give you some good old dollars. Dollars, dollars, dollars. Get on out there and make that good old money, girl. Yeah, I mean, it happens like that. In 1 week, you could have like 150, 200 people in 1 week. Excuse me, guys. The thing with these channels, I know you like those fireworks. Tracy, the thing with these channels is that when they see you come in and they know that you're new, they'll try to grab you up too. You see, it's both ways. They will try to grab you up just like you're gonna try to grab them up. It's people be trying to get them numbers. They trying to do whatever they can to get their numbers. Now, one lady, she markets her jewelry on her channel. That's what you need to do. Get you some products, sit them out, let people see what it is. You know, if you got some, and tell them I sell Mary Kay. Put your website up there on like the link to your website. You need to put that on your page, your home page. Put that link on your home page so that they can click on it. Well, see, that's the thing, I mean, but you can make a limited amount. You can still make a limited amount. I mean, I'll just put it like this. You know what you're trying to do, honey. I'm gonna leave that up to you. Cause you know what you're trying to do. But you can either put the links in your videos or you can just tell them to get in contact with you. What you can do is get you an email and tell people to email you. Tell them to email you if they're interested in Mary Kay. Because that where there's a will, there's a way. But I'm gonna tell you, if you make a certain amount, you want to make sure you go ahead and report it anyway, so it don't come back to bite you on the tuchus. On the tuchus. Jeff, are you still at Walmart? You still walking around at Walmart, probably buying stuff you ain't got no business buying? That's good, honey. It's like I said, we all know what it is that we're trying to do, and you can get where you're trying to go. You can do what you're trying to do. You just have, I mean, it's like Jeff said, he grew by 125 people in 1 week. You could do that same thing too. See, this is what most people don't understand. You're not gonna make money from YouTube. The Okay, okay. You're not gonna make money from YouTube. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna make money from YouTube. You have to do it by promoting other products, by getting sponsors. Okay, that's good. That's good. Because here's the deal: the more people that you come in contact with, they get to looking at your videos. They may decide that they want to buy something from you. It's just like they say: for every time you like, every time. See, that's here's the deal. It's like every time you can ask 100 people a question, and you might get anywhere between 1 and 5 yeses out of that 100 people. Unfortunately, that's just kind of the nature of the beast. Sometimes you can ask like about 5 folks and you'll get 5 folks. And then sometimes you can ask like 20 folks and you might only get one. So it doesn't hurt to just put it out there. Just keep making your videos so people will. And I like the video that you did this morning where you were putting your makeup on. I like the way you did that video. You was putting your makeup on, you were showing the product that you were using. That's the best form of advertisement when people can see it on you. That's the best form of advertising. And see, that's the thing. By by this time next week, if you really just get in contact, go over to Val and Coco, go over to Sugar Delights and look at their videos when they're saying you see their videos pop up, go ahead and you see the thing is when you subscribe, oh Lord, when you make a connection with other people, when you make a connection with other people, they will also turn around and connect back with you. When they connect with you, a lot of these people will have lives where they'll say, come and grow. A lot of people will have lives where they will say, come and grow. When you see that come and grow message, that live is fixing to come up, jump in those lives, because when they say come and grow, that means everybody that's coming in there, they are coming in there for the purpose of finding more people who they haven't connected with. And they'll tell you, we are not doing sub for sub. No, 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 no. We are building communities. Okay. See, as you can tell, this is all new to me, and I'm just trying to do it by the books, honey, because it doesn't make any sense to be online for 2 hours and then you don't get the benefit of it because you're saying the wrong things. It's nothing wrong. I mean, I don't, and I'm so glad Jeff is here because he's been in other people's lives, so he know exactly what to do. And that's good. That's how we get the help we need, because for me, you're here, you seeing this, so you know what to do so you can help yourself. I'm telling you, honey, it's out there. It's really out there. These people are awesome. They are nothing like the ones who wouldn't share anything with you, wouldn't show nothing to you. They are nothing like that. And they want you to grow, because if you growing, that means they're gonna grow, because the more people you got, the more people you gotta probably go look at them too. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's really just trying to help one another. You can't beat that. You cannot. That's right. You have sometimes you'll have 100 folks in a live that jump in there as they coming and going. You scoop them up, gone, and the most important thing to keep them is to go look at their videos. Don't just click subscribe to somebody's video and then go on about your merry way. Because if you do that, the next time you look around, that person is going to be gone. And it will not even be because they unsubscribe, it will be because the system took them away from you. Yeah, Farm Off Fanatics on Fridays. That's a good place to go to get you some good help. That's a place to go to get you some good help, honey. Sometimes if you go in there and you notice that your numbers have decreased, when you go check out somebody and you want to go to the places where everybody is on the same playing field and everybody is trying to link up, everybody's trying to stay connected. When you go to those places, you don't have to worry about nobody saying, subscribing to you and then the next day they gone. You ain't got to worry about that. You wouldn't want anybody to look at what? Tracy, you said I wouldn't want no one to look at them. You wouldn't want anybody to look at what? If you're talking about videos, I wouldn't shoot. Just make more videos. Just upload some more videos, more recent videos of you doing stuff like going out to the car, sitting in the car, talking about, what you're doing with Mary Kay, um, talking about your goals, what you're trying to accomplish. Oh, were you? Joseph, did you enjoy it? Oh my goodness, that mess is something else. It's truly something else. I'll tell you, it's something else with that mess. I see stuff going on, I talk about it, and I get out of there. I don't stay in it because I don't really care for all that junk that they be doing. Oh my God. All right, guys, I have hit my 2 hour. I've gone over my 2 hours, and I know some people stay online. I'm glad you really enjoyed it, honey. I try my best to put together some good movies or videos so y'all can enjoy them. Um, I want to say I really do appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm fixing to go ahead and jump off this live because, guys, I feel like I'm about to drop for real. And Jeff, you need to go to bed. You just got off work. You need to go home and go to bed and quit trying to stay up all night long. To the right way. What is that? You need to go home and go to bed with your little hot tail. I believe it. I believe you are. Well, guys, like I said, I'm gonna get off of here because my eyes act like they don't want to stay open. Oh, it's alive. Oh, you are something else, honey. You terrible staying up all out. That's why you be having them bags under your eyes. You're not getting enough sleep. Well, as I said, I'm going to go ahead and end this live. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I sincerely appreciate you. You guys are wonderful. I love you. I love you. I love you a lot. So, thank you so much for stopping by. This is D with Black Conspiracy TV, BADTV. And as I always say, keep your eyes open and your ears sharp. See you later, guys. Bye. Love you, Deb. Love you, Tracy. Bye, Joseph. Love you too. Y'all have a good morning. I'll see y'all later. Bye.